Match number 2 in Group B, everybody. We got Poland versus Finland, and Towers of Doom is kicking us off in this best of 3 series. So once again, quick reminder, we have an offline event coming up in Berlin in June 10th and 11th, and currently we're running the European Qualifier. It's a Nations Cup. We have 16 nations, 16 countries that are playing in the tournament. Very happy about this. First group stage, we're going to try to whittle them slowly down to 8. We have 4 groups with 4 teams each, and then 2 out of each group will advance to the next stage of the tournament. It's going to be pretty exciting. The event, by the way, is also open to the audience. If you guys want to maybe schedule a little bit of a trip to Berlin, visit the city, and combine it with some offline Heroes of the Storm, meeting like-minded fans, players, casters, whoever, then you're more than welcome to join us there. More information are in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube right now. If you're watching it on Twitch, you probably have already seen all of the info there. There's also a link to the Experian, which is, by the way, the venue that we're using for the event. Very happy to be partnered with them there. And if you want to get a bit of an idea of which venue we have, what we can do there, and how it's going to look like, there are galleries on their website. The link is in the description as well. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be really cool. We're going to have North American team there. We're going to have a team from Asia there as well. So we will once again have international Heroes of the Storm, and it's going to be quite fun. Really looking forward to it, and I hope that a lot of people show up, because we don't get the chance to have a lot of international Heroes of the Storm in an offline environment in Europe these days. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. By the way, if you want to support events like this one, we had 2 in Miami last year, obviously, with the Heroes International. We are hoping to do more, not only this one in Berlin, but since offline events are, of course, a lot cheaper than just hosting a tournament online, we have a crowdfunding going for this one as well, and support there is always very much appreciated, because offline events really quite easily can break the bank there. So there's a link for the crowdfunding also in the description. And again, if you would like to see more offline events in the future, more international participation, so the battle between North America, Europe, and also Asia or Korea, then yeah, would be awesome if you could help out there a little bit too. So check it out, have a look. And with that, we're heading into game number 1 of this particular series. So Poland and Finland, I would say between the 2 of them, the Polish team should be the favorite. Poland and the Russian players are probably the 2 strongest, at least just on paper, in this particular group. And the draft is going really fast, by the way. I mean, they're not wasting any time. It's just like pick. And Nubarak and Blaze, great combo for Towers of Doom here. We have Genji also for damage, comboed off with Brightwings. They couldn't go even for a bit of a dive bomb. Could have gone maybe into Anduin for the light bomb combination with Genji, but either way, it's a very powerful composition that Poland currently has, and a very aggressive one at that too. Whereas on the other side, we now get Varian, Jaina, and Stukov, so really looking to kill targets and work around that taunt. Means Genji has to be a bit more careful. And there's more damage for Poland as they come in with Chromie. Guys, that sets the stage. Game number 1. We're in Group B of the European Qualifier. Poland against Finland. Map number 1 is Towers of Doom. Game number 1, Poland against Finland. Off we go. Lavakal on Brightwing, Richu on Blaze. We got Itrax on Genji, twice on Anubarak, and Alvaros on Chromie for the Polish team. Over on the right side of the map, it's Volker on Varian, playing for Finland. We got Hatua on Stukov, MXD on Jaina, Patsku on Dehaka, and Vixu is playing Junkrat. You know what these 2 countries have in common? Weather's pretty shitty over there. Yeah, I work sometimes as a consultant for Loop Deck and help them with some of their products. They are one of the Stream Deck competitors, and it's really funny when I talk to the boys in Finland in the main office and they explain to me how they have snow, the weather is horrible, it's minus 20 degrees, and I look out the window, we have like 15, 20 degrees, sometimes even more here in Spain. It's sunny, there's not a cloud in the sky, and they're just like, oh, it was super cold this morning. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be quiet, or this is not going to go well. So yeah, some people are a little bit jealous there. But it is kind of fun. I honestly like Finland. Those boys know how to drink, and I absolutely love Poland. I've been several times. Food is fantastic. People are super nice. So yeah, Poland is pretty awesome. Obviously a little bit influenced also by the fact that a lot of the boys that I hung out with in the early days of StarCraft 2 are from Poland. Mana comes to mind. Napierdolai came even to Korea for GSL, so the good old times. But yeah, taught me a little bit of Polish, like not a whole lot, but I still remember a couple of words and a couple of things there. But yeah, Polish food, absolutely awesome. Polish players are also not too shabby, so they start off with a kill on Jaina and they get her eliminated, but they lose Brightwing in the process. But the party isn't over yet, that battle continues and it results in a second kill for the blue team. They take down Varian. So job well done. Yeah, well played here. So they were able to get 2 kills and more importantly, they're now moving in to steal the opponent's camp away. It barely works out. Yeah, good job by Junkrat trying to ruin the day for them, but he was not quite able to pull that one off. Now, as it stands, we have a bit of a kill advantage for the Polish team. And of course, they are trying to pull ahead now also in lane pressure thanks to the pumpkin camp that they just claimed. I'm trying to get another one there too. Now, level 4 talents kick in a little bit earlier for them. It's nothing really that's too crazy just yet. We got the bed of barbs in. The Brightwing magic spit. Still disgusting to me. Like, screw the fruit fly. Seriously. Blah. Absolutely. Blah. But yeah, with that we now got the chronic conditions over there. And Varian has his taunt, which is going to be a little bit more important. They try to go for twice. The camp is stolen, interestingly enough, but Jaina dies again. Yeah, she is getting heavily wrecked over here. A little bit too hard at the front line, honey. So now we have Stukov also eliminated. That's a demotion and a half. Yeah, that's not an admiral in my book, so he's dead. And the pressure continues. 1 level ahead, and they come in swinging. The Polish team doing some work over here. Whereas with the first shrine phase, or the first altar phase coming up, we're having the immediate rotation at the top left, top right. No surprises here, equal exchange. It's more so about the third one, and Lava Colors already channeled this one through too. So yeah, shots fired, small advantage for the blue team, as Team Poland is moving forward. As usual, Chromie keeping everybody at bay here, as Varian was just sitting at the front trying to do his thing, getting angry. Cosplaying Silver Surfer a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. I gotta say that the surfboard is actually fairly cool. It would be nice if a lot of the heroes, or at least some of them, had more special animations depending on what mount they're riding. That would be pretty sick. But as is, it's already quite fun. We get Frost Shards and Winter's Reach build. It's a little bit of a machine gun build over here for Jaina, going full old school on this one too. And they are collapsing onto Blaze, who doesn't have a chance. He has no chance getting out of this one. Poor boy was absolutely murdered. Had no opportunity to get out of this one. It was a good old Warcraft 3 body block and surround that they executed on him. And that sealed the deal quickly. And no level 7 talent over the Icelands, but instead we get the Ice Flurs over here. We have with Varian now also no 7 talent taken just yet, but Chromie of course followed up with the synergy after she picked the deep breathing on level 1. And it is time for the next altar phase. I like how the Finnish team is really fighting back here. Now, as I already said before, I personally think that Poland and the Russian players, they are the favorites to make it out of the group, but Team Finland definitely has a shot. So it might not be easy for them, but they have what it takes to win a couple of these games. Maybe take a map or two of a strong opponent and then win the right best of 3 series, and all of a sudden you might be the one moving on to the next round of the tournament. So definitely a possibility for them here. As is, we have both teams on level 8, and a few more shots are soon going to be fired. It seems though as if the blue team is going to be the one that gets the 4 shots, and indeed that happens. Jaina, of course, working also on her baseline. Once that she's done with the ice block, it's going to be a bit easier for her to survive. But yeah, we'll see. Middle of the map, Urchu playing it a bit safer. It's one of the shittiest mounts ever, by the way. This mechanical spider, it was nice for trolling. I told that story with Tumor Spider Queen a few times already. But to be absolutely honest with you, I've never understood why people use that mount. It's one of the money pick exists. Why would you go for the spider mount? It just doesn't make any sense to me. There's so many more good mounts. I mean, we could even talk about the Cloud, for example. or the rat or whatnot, but yeah, the mechanical spider, I don't know about that one. Level 10 about to kick in. They're opening up the wall already. Now the window is small, but there is a window of opportunity that they could try to use. And they do. They go for the cocoon, attempting to force a fight here. Not quite working for them. The whole idea was obviously to eliminate Stukov from the fight and then ensure that there were no heals available to the red team, but it didn't quite work out for them. Ooh, and twice pausing the game. Seems like they are having some issues here. Since nobody has dropped yet from the looks of it, it seems more to be a communication issue. Could be that they just have some trouble with voice, or that one of the players is being called to grab some food. Who knows? But yeah, that's always the best one. When all of a sudden your mom comes in the room and says you have to take out the trash. But Mom, I'm playing. The good old days. That literally happened. That happened to me quite a bit. So yeah, back in the day when you played, I don't know, Warcraft 3, when you played some Quake and all of that stuff, and all of a sudden your mom came in and tells you to take out the trash or to just deal with the laundry. That was always pretty awkward. That's one of the reasons why we invented LANs back then. You actually had to go and put your PC together with a couple of friends, and then you were just going full hermit and full basement for like a weekend or even a bit longer. And the advantage was that you weren't bothered by your parents, so that was awesome. Could get just game all day, every day. Now, while we're waiting for them, quick check also on the damage numbers. We have currently 13,000 for Chromie, but Junkrat is taking the big point, so he's at 15k for them. Patsko at the top with Dehaka is the only real global in the game. I'm not really counting Brightwing. The problem with Brightwing as a global is Brightwing can help someone out that is on a side lane, and can do that. Is also useful when you're trying to channel an altar and want to join the fight on the other side of the map a second later. But Brightwing isn't really a global in the sense that you have real push power on a lane and can control it. That's where Falstad and Dehaka are more going to be a thing. So when it comes to mid and late game map control, Patsko is going to have a much bigger impact than Brightwing, for example. So that's definitely going to be a thing there. But with that said, we still have a lot of good teamfight potential for the blue team here. They can come in with twice now, try and get those stuns connected, have a follow-up with Blaze. They have also Brightwing herself. I mean, even Chromie setting all of this up with her ult can be super powerful here, especially once those quests are completed. We are still waiting for Genji's level 4 and for Chromie's level 1 to be done. So that synergy, I really expect it to be pretty powerful for Poland as the game continues. For Finland, it's more so the triple setup here with Taunt into a Lurking Arm into Jaina damage. I could have seen a ring in that instance as well. Even Junkrat could of course help out, but just generally speaking, if that combo gets interrupted, if a good cocoon gets thrown out, for example, this could become an issue because they're relying heavily on getting kills with that particular play. And so far, it hasn't really happened all that often yet. So as the game continues, it's going to be tough for them. One channel has already happened though, so Junkrat got one channel down at the bottom. Varian is a little bit split from the team, and they're trying to drive a bit of a wedge in here, but now Stukov gets obliterated down at the bot lane. We have also another play being made for Dehaka, and I don't think he's going to make it. He might, but now that Varian is coming in, there might be two, and they're turning it around on Brightwing. Damn, son, not bad. Instead of losing Varian and or Dehaka, they turn it and take Brightwing down. That was pretty cool. Big damage on the other hand coming in from Genji, and yeah, that is a kill on Varian and Dehaka. So yeah, that was a bit unfortunate, just as they looked so good and then this happens. So the shots are being fired and they're taking the core down another notch. But really nicely done by Genji there. So they got the quick kill. They obviously lined up perfectly for him, and he used that to his advantage immediately. With 8 kills to 4, they're looking good. We don't have any bell tower conversions happening just yet, but level 13 is close. So they're soon going to have level 13. Top side, still have a bit more pressure from Blaze now as he's holding the line together with the team, but they stole away the opponent's pumpkins. Now they're going for their own. Next phase, we're going to have a single altar up on the map. level 13 again is gonna make a bit of a difference here as they're taking that talent lead, but I gotta admit that Finland is still keeping themselves in range. So they're not falling too far behind or anything. The Haka is playing a big role here, as you can also see from the experience board. He is the one diving between these lanes. Can't really hold a candle to Blaze though, and look at Itrax coming in with another nice play as they're isolating Varian, at least trying to. So another stun is about to happen. Gets the shields out, protected. Comes in against Chromie, and she's getting big damage in. Also against Stukov, who all of a sudden finds himself at the front line. Definitely not where he wants to be. He goes down, and they exploit that level 13 talent without any regrets over here. So yeah, that's another one. Another big hit coming as they're hoping to convert the bell tower over. And I honestly think that this can't be stopped. Yeah, they're gonna claim this, no problem. Easy times for them. Taking this one down gives them a 5-3 advantage that they can immediately use now with Brightwing at the bot lane, since the channel has already happened. So they're pulling a bit further ahead here, and that map control is of course absolutely crucial. So the shots are fired, and that is going to push Finland down to 19 points on the core against the 32 on the other side. Boss is also up, currently not getting attacked, but they're setting up around it a bit. So they might try to bait this a little bit, and since they have vision at the bottom of the map now, they are making a move for it. There's also one of the reasons why Blaze is currently taking a very safe path on the left side, because he was realizing that either they're going for boss or they're trying to gank up on him. So it is a boss that gets claimed. That's 4 shots for Finland. And the blue team is just simply too late to do anything about it. They were trying to go for Blaze here for just a second. That didn't do really anything. Shots are fired, and it puts him a bit closer to the numbers of the Polish team here, but the wall is being softened up by Chromie as she's starting to fire away. And talking about softening up targets, we have Junkrat at the bottom of the map immediately trying to get some grenades in against the bell tower, but they're still holding on to that position. And with Pumpkins getting now taken too, if they grab those, it's more pressure against the core. They even use a Cocoon for it. So the camp's taken. Cocoon is there. They go for the battle. Oh, and the X-Strike, and he still dies to the Reptile. Genji down just before the blue team gets level 16. Now they go for Nubarak, but they can't take him down either. Altars are also activating. That's a triple altar phase. That's a bit bad luck here for Poland. Bad timing to lose Genji. Definitely not the moment where you want that to happen. So now another camp can be stolen away from the red team from Finland, but they haven't really tried to take back the bell tower yet. It's 13 seconds, 12 now for Genji, and there's level 16, so they have the talent advantage. They can't lose anybody here. You can't stagger these deaths. That can't happen. But it's actually impressive to me that Finland is trying to dive in this deep, but Jaina is dead already. The interrupt has happened, and they can't retreat. That's a big problem when you're losing bot lane control. You cannot escape when you're aiming for that bottom altar. So they have to move through the bell tower. Genji is already at the top channeling. 5 shots are fired thanks to Brightwing at the bot lane, putting them down to 14. Another 5 putting them down to 9. So now we're looking at single digits on the core. Varian has been dropped on his rotation, and the top has been interrupted too. They're in deep shit now. This is going to be 4 points on the core if Genji is able to get the channel through, and who's going to stop him? I mean, seriously. Nobody's going to be in a position to do that. So 4 points on the core, which means a single altar later on is going to seal the deal. It could go for the boss, of course, but that has been taken already and is only going to be up in 2.5 minutes. So not a chance to grab that anytime soon. It's a big problem. And again, the talent advantage. Having that talent lead over the Finnish team was huge. It was absolutely huge. 27,000 damage currently for Junkrat. We have 45,000 for Chromie. She's definitely taking the cake here. Lovakal come back in. Yep, we get the tunnels opening up. But the loss of map control is their biggest issue right now. They're trying to reclaim the bottom bell tower. That helps them a little bit. The problem is it doesn't really do too much for you. That, on the other hand, really helps. 2 heroes down. They kill Brightwing and they kill Chromie. So that's a good move. But they lost Stukov a second later, which means they don't have any heals, but they have the damage. Oh, what do they? How did he just get out? Are you kidding me? Genji and Blaze both escaped? What? No way! I thought they would both die. I would have put money on that. That at least one of them bites the dust here. But no, not so much. Bell Tower got retaken. Not that it helps them a lot. They still have to win both of these altars or it's over. But it's 17 to 18. Interestingly enough, Finland has now taken the lead in experience. Thanks to a lot of the hero damage that we're able to get out and the hero experience that they gathered. They have a much better position when it comes to minion experience. Again, the Haga playing a huge role here with his global, but it's all coming down to these two altars. And Genji is sitting at the side, could go for an interrupt. That's exactly what he does. Putting pressure on Stukov as the fight breaks out on the left side. Without a healer, real trouble. And they gotta be careful that Genji doesn't sneak the altar on the right either. So you have to be super careful here. X-Strike! Straight to the point, taking down Junkrat. 5 versus 4. Varian is also dead. That's 2 down. The channel has happened, and this is a game, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1. The Polish team, they're taking the lead in this series. GG. Well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2. The Polish team is in the lead. Finland, they are hoping to win here on Battlefield of Eternity, our second map, and force game number 3. Now, if you watched the previous group, if you watched Group A, then you already know that there's also one special rule that we adopted when it comes to the draft, and that is that you cannot play a hero twice within a series. It's a little bit of a tip to the hat to the Meta Madness rules without us pre-banning tons of heroes here, just to make things a little bit more interesting for the audience. And therefore, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again. It's a little bit of a compromise. The entire Nations Cup is supposed to be a bit more fun also for fans and viewers, especially, of course, with the offline final in Berlin in mind. We didn't want to go all Meta Madness on it, but have a little bit of a middle ground between all of that, since the main event, the main competitive event for the year is still supposed to be what we are aiming to do in Miami again, the Heroes International. So, therefore, bit of a compromise between all of this, and it's kind of nice. You definitely don't have to deal with all of those Blaze and Hogga picks all the time. In this case, you don't have to deal with it at all because Hogga is banned, so it's not going to be played here either. But let's see what the Polish team can do. Can Finland win a map here? That would be pretty important. If they can win 2, even better. If they're starting a reverse sweep here now, that would be fantastic for their chances to get out of the group. Now, we're obviously playing all of these groups out anyways, just in case that we need an additional team in the next stage. Maybe some of the players can't make it, they figure out that they don't get a visa, whatever it is, then we are going to be looking for the best third place team, so we're playing the groups out completely. We got Hogga banned and Lucio. Same is also true now for Anduin and for Sylvanas, which means that Hanzo was still open, and you don't have to ask the Polish team twice to go for Hanzo. His damage against the Immortal is crazy good, so they are locking him in as a first pick without any hesitation whatsoever. As you can see, the Finnish team has actually decided that they are picking the map. So generally how it works is that if you lose a map in one of these tournaments, you are faced with the choice whether you want to have first pick, first ban, or whether you want to decide which map is going to be played next, and then your opponent does whatever's left. So in this case, they clearly decided that they want to play on Battlefield of Eternity, which left Poland in the situation that they were allowed to pick first and to ban first. So we have a combo with Li Ming and Diablo. Li Ming has obviously always been a super strong pick on Battlefield of Eternity, because once that these little stalemates in the middle happen and you're going for the objective, she can always YOLO out combos against the opponent's Immortal, and then the other team is faced with a decision. Do you just eat the damage with one of your heroes and slowly it puts pressure onto the healer, or do you let those combos go through and hit the Immortal, which then wins your opponent over the long run the objective? So, gotta make your choices there. Muradin comes in. He's been very powerful on Battlefield for a long time now. Level 4 talent, obviously, with the extra damage against structures, quite helpful. But even outside of that, just setting these stuns up and dominating the space around the Immortal fights is pretty solid. Rhaegar with a lightning shield, not only the burst heal, but also the added damage that you get with him. Greymane gets banned. Don't want to go up against Hanzo and Greymane on the Immortal, and I can't fault them for that. That's just way too much Immortal damage there. Vala is also up, so she could be played here too with an arrow build if one of the teams feel that they need to add additional damage on the objective. But we get Ana banned first, and that makes a whole lot of sense. When you're going up against Li Ming, that nano boost is just insanely powerful. There it is again, by the way, that combo with Diablo and Urel was already an old school true and tried comp in HGC times. Back in the day, there was the triumvirate of Urel, Diablo, and Deckard Cain that had, I think, a 12-0 win record. It was incredible. If you got those three, the sustain that they brought for you were just out of this world. A long time ago, a lot of patches ago, a lot of changes ago, but Urel and Diablo is still a very good duo. Malfurion for heals. And our final two picks for the Polish team, as they are hoping to close out the series with a 2-0, obviously. Which would give them a great position to get out of this group. And we get them with, ooh, Zagara for the pressure. And some roaches on the Immortal. And we have Sonya on the side lane. Alright. Final pick for game number 2 in the best of 3 for Vexu. So what exactly is the Polish team now going to do? They need a little bit more damage. They got their side laner, they got the tank, they have Li Ming, and they go for Tracer. So they're going to try and go Zagara hunting a little bit and Hanzo hunting. But with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Poland against Finland. Game number 2. Poland in the lead. They've taken the first map, and they're hoping to close out the series here in Battlefield of Eternity with Lavekal on Rega, Richu on Sonya, Itrax on Hanzo. We got twice on Murden, and Alvaros is playing Zagara. To the right side of the map, Finland playing Tracer, MXD. We got Vexu and Li Ming. Folke on Diablo, Hetua on Malfurion, and Patsku is playing Urel. Zagara is going to be super interesting in this. We've seen her played a huge amount of times actually in Meta Madness, and a lot of times here in Battlefield of Eternity and some other maps as well, players are trying to just get a lot of lane pressure going with her. The problem with Zagara is obviously always the same. She's insanely squishy. If you get to her, if you can just collapse onto her, she's pretty much instantly dead. She doesn't really have an escape tool. She can play around the creep a little bit, but that's mostly it. If she is left alone on structures, on the other hand, she is going to absolutely murder them. And we'll see how much Alvaros can really do here. But even on the Immortal, Zagara isn't too shabby. You can always just like drop some Balings over, drop some Roaches on it, get the damage done slowly. But the lane pressure is really where she, of course, excels, and also the vision that is granted through those creep tumors. So, in this case, they're even being protected a little bit as they're trying to make it as difficult as possible for the Finnish team to remove them. Vision is everything, of course, and if you have a good Zagara player, you can execute a bit of a legal map hack here. But it's tough these days. I mean, at the beginning, honestly, when Zagara just entered Heroes of the Storm and the game was new, there were a lot of players that just didn't deal with creep properly, and then you see the entire map. But these days, as you can tell here, they are extremely diligent around it. There's a lot of tools and abilities on the side of the Finnish team that they can use to sniff out those creep tumors. And yeah, they're wasting absolutely no time. Zagara is having a tough one getting anything done here. But they are trying to take position down here now, and Hanzo is going for Diablo, and Murden finishes him off. Jumps in deep. Stormbolt barely dodged by Malfurion. Hetua keeping the support alive as Urel and Sonya. For a second we're looking to maybe join the fight down at the bottom of the map, but the end of Diablo spelled also the end of the battle for this camp. So both of them return topside. Alvarez without any mana left at this point. Just really unleashed everything that he had on this. So all the way up at the top. Richu still up against Urel here, against the Space Goat, going full slam build. And down at the bottom of the map, the party still continues, so both of the teams are looking for additional kills here. We have the Envenomed Spines for Zagara. Can use that to deal with Tracer a little bit whenever Tracer makes the approach. Any kind of direct damage against Tracer with auto attacks is obviously helpful, since she can't dodge out on them. If you have a good Tracer player, landing abilities can be rough. But look how quickly this wall falls, just as some of those heroes are split over to the right side to take the camp. So the blue team making no moves to take their own camp, but they are doing a lot of work on that wall. The gate and one of the towers is already gone. And now they can start to take the lead on the Immortal as well. It comes at a cost, though. They don't have their own camp, so there is going to be some pressure from Finland at the top side. And there's not going to be a whole lot for Poland. They have to wait for the halftime show if at any point they want to make a move for this. Zagara nearly got caught by a stun there, since her entire path of retreat was pretty much cut off. But here comes the attack again, so immediately the pressure against Tracer. And they already have the halftime show more or less locked in. It's not quite there yet, but they removed a lot of HP from the Immortal here. And as we're now seeing the red team starting to do some counter damage, they are of course going to move in to finish this one off. Not going to be a problem. They are ahead by several thousand hit points, so yeah, great for them. And off we go. So a little bit of a play over here already as they're trying to come in again with another quick hit. Looking for continuous poke damage on the Immortal to win out on this, but looking at Zagara, looking at Hanzo, both of them low as Tracer is still looking for heroes to kill. So let's see how they're going to play this one out. I mean, it is getting a bit dicey at this point in time. So what can they do here? 1 kill 0, level 6 is in. No level 7 talents anytime soon for either one of those teams, as Tracer's the only one on the right side of the map. Richu gets wrecked. There it is, the reset for Li Ming. Now they're doing well on the Immortal, but I'm not quite sure if they're doing well enough so that they can take the objective. Tracer nearly got the kill on Hanzo, but then Muradin shut her down. So they're getting really close here. And I guess eventually the Polish team is going to walk away with objective number 1. Muradin is jumping in deep as well. Gets another stun off, by the way. So yeah, nicely done. Extra damage on Urel, forcing her to hop out again. So nice job. And down to the bottom of the map, they are still starting to go for another little push play, potentially, with Zagara. Yes, she is indeed splitting bot side. So while the objective goes top, Zagara is moving down to the bottom of the map and is trying to make her play there. So they are attacking on 2 sides right now, on 2 fronts. A 2-pronged attack by Team Poland as they are hoping for more damage against the red team. And they should be I mean, I'm not quite sure if they are going to walk away with 1-4 here, but they should be able to damage both of them severely. Now that Urel and Liming are working topside against the Immortal, though, they might be able to get a bit more done down here at the bottom of the map than I initially expected. So, yeah, quick attack against Diablo. Liming is already rotating over. That's not quite as successful. The shield was not that big, so they opened the top wall up. All of this destroyed. But the fort hasn't really taken a whole lot of damage down to the bottom of the map. Malevolence for Diablo. So that's what he got. We now have also Liming with 15,000 damage compared to the 21,000 that Hanzo with all of his poke damage was able to contribute for the blue team. Yeah, they go for Liming. And Vexu makes it. Oh, nearly got Hanzo'd. Nearly got Hanzo'd by Team Poland. That was a very, very close call there. But he was able to get out, so good on him. And in the meantime, we have on level 7, of course, for Liming, Calamity. Bit of a leading experience for Poland. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. But it will add up as time continues. And, of course, there's still a couple of camps to be claimed. Seems like the red team, the Finnish team, is also trying to get one of the camps up at the top of the map. So they're slowly making a move there. Sonya sniffs it out. But it's honestly too late to do really anything about it, at least if nobody rotates over. And instead of rotating, they're just going for aggression down at the bottom of the map. But Muradin is going to fall victim to it. The question is, can they get the counter kill? And the answer is no. Tracer successfully takes down Beard Boy. And now they're hoping to get Zagara as well. So far, that's not working out for them. But still, it's 2 kills to 1 now in favor of Finland. Yeah, the Finnish team getting more aggressive and a lot more confident all of a sudden. And it just comes at the perfect moment in time, just as the next objective spawns. And they need a little bit of a boost. They need to win the next objective. They need to get some structures destroyed if they want to have a chance here. And if they want to force game number 3 in this series. And they're getting, of course, closer to it. So right now we have the ults coming in. Leap, by the way, taken. Yeah, going straight for Leap. Halftime show is already won. So aggressive position for Poland. And they have more too, so they have a couple of things that they combo off real nicely here. If they land the power more with the Zagara, a proper leap and an arrow afterwards can absolutely destroy the day of the red team. Apocalypse is already out, trying to zone them a bit here. More, if anything, he blocks their path. Ancestral is out, Zagara is dead, and here comes Sonya. Maybe a bit too late with the tranquility that Malfurion popped. Diablo is still alive. Yeah, that could have been better coordinated for sure. So as they come in, they are losing one of their heroes. They might lose more. Yeah, Sonya is now dead as well, so that's 4 kills to 1 for Finland. Guys, the Finnish team, they're fighting back. They're clawing their way back into this. They're losing at the bottom of the map a fort, but they're going to get 100% immortal now. That's a huge shield to play around with. Now, I really feel that the blue team could have played out the last fight a little bit better. Sonya was late to the party with a leap. If they just stagger these stuns a bit better, they're gonna have a much better chance of getting a kill. Also, Maw missed completely. If anything, the only thing that Zagara accomplished with that one was to zone off Diablo a little bit. But for now, we have the damage done. Bot lane fort is gone. Urel still at the bottom of the map, by the way, so she has not moved towards the top, meaning this is a 5 versus 4 currently. There's a level advantage for Team Finland, but that shield gets removed very quickly. Urel is about to appear. They should be able to get that fort, but I don't think this Immortal is gonna go any further, because they are burning it down as quickly as they can. They're doing a great job here. It still means that Finland ties it up in structures, and in addition to that has now, of course, that 1 level lead that I highlighted earlier. So that's a pretty good position for them to be in. 4 kills to 1, even structures with the opponent, and a level advantage over the blue team is not too bad. Camps are taken again. Meridian immediately jumping out here. It's like, yeah, that's a little bit too much for me to handle. Quick Stormbolt, and that's it for me. See you guys later. At least they took the camp. And the camp control that we are getting from Poland is pretty nice, honestly. They are ahead, as you can see, on the mercenary experience when it comes to camps. The main reason why the Finnish team is ahead is not only the hero experience that we're able to gather with the added kills, but just look at the minion experience. They've done a much better job on this as well. So they've been really diligent getting as many of these minion waves as they could. Zagara, sorry, not Zagara, Urel staying behind a little bit longer to deal with the bot wave was a good example of that. Should still end up with level 13 for both of the teams as we're heading into the next one. So there's that. But there's still 1 camp to be taken, and they could claim this one too. So there's level 13. I don't really think that they can maintain that window. First of all, the objective hasn't even been announced yet, so there's plenty of time left for Poland to soak experience. But also, what I want to see is really a bit more coordination around these stuns. Hanzo's arrow, Sonya with a leap, Maw, Stormbolt. A lot of tools that they have that they can combo off. Whereas on the other side, there's not that much combo potential. There's a couple of things they can obviously do. You have a wave of force, so displacement is always nice when you're playing around the Apocalypse as well. But yeah, this is gonna be a really nice point in the game. Because right now, both teams are in a nearly identical position. There's a tiny advantage for Finland, but it's honestly a small one. And it's coming now down to the question of whether or not the stuns can be comboed off properly, what they can do with the Tracer. But before that even becomes a question, they're taking Diablo down. Didn't even have to use a whole lot of abilities. Still YOLOing a few of them out. Arrow has been used, and so was the leap. They're trying to go again for Urel. Ult isn't even used yet on Urel. Camp at the top lane, still pushing, so it's all about the keep. And oh, that's the end of Li Ming. Damn, son. She got shredded in that last one. Absolutely destroyed. Twice also in trouble. He's still alive with 60 hit points. And Tracer gets Hanzo'd. Hit on the right side. Urel has to pop the ult. They're trying to turn it on Hanzo. Atrax making it out of the fight. What a battle, and damn son, Poland is back to business. Topside camp has to be eliminated by Sonya, and in the middle of the map they're trying now to get access to the Immortal, slowly take it down here. But obviously we have quite a few of the red team's heroes back in the game, And since they had to move Sonya towards the top lane to make sure that the keep didn't take any damage, they're now finding themselves in this very awkward position where both of the teams are back to business, back to fighting strength, and there's not a whole lot of an advantage for the Polish team despite the team battle they just won. So it's all a reset. It's all just reset. This is a bit of an advantage for Poland, of course. They still have their camp, and it's going to push for a keep. But there's the Stormbolt. Yeah, no ult for Urel. Urel is the one that suffered the most. Nice arrow. Leap! No more! I don't know if that more helped or hurt, but they're still going to try and get the kill here. Urel moves out. Tranquility has been busted out, and Diablo is dead half a second before his Apocalypse is ready again. That one hurts. Yeah, that one would have been so nice if he could have at least used the Apocalypse there. He's going to be back soon. Death timers are still fairly low. But look how much pressure they're now applying to Urel too. And she has to be careful. She's still 30 seconds away from having her ult cooldown back. And that's the biggest problem at this point in time. Not having her ult makes her very timid in these situations. They get the objective. 50% on the shield. It's going to travel topside again. And the wall is already gone over here. So here comes the opportunity to make a big play for it. Damage output, give you guys a bit of an indication here, 55,000 for Hanzo. And as you can tell, we have Zagara with a still stable and respectable 39k. That's more than Li Ming has, by the way. Zagara has more damage currently than Li Ming has, who's the top damage dealer for Team Finland. So the Polish team looking for another leap, looking for another engage, another opportunity here. Arrow! Ooh, Malfurion is hit, and he's hit hard. There's the Stormbolt. For just a second, Sonya was thinking about jumping in. Decided against it. They sacrifice the fort. The pressure continues. The hope was, of course, to force a battle around the level 16 advantage that Poland had here. But they can still take down this wall. I don't think they can go as far as to take down the keep, but they can at least damage it a little bit. That should be in the cards. 5 kills to 4, and what a battle here in game number 2. The Polish team, they're trying to win this series. They don't want to go to game number 3. They don't want to lose the map here. Whereas Team Finland knows fully well that this is something where if they can win this series, if they can just take at least a map, it would make it so much easier for them to get out of this group. It would really increase their chances, especially if they can lock in a victory against Poland. But the battle continues. Keepers take damage. Sonya with a leap. The follow-up on the stun and the kill. The Maw a little bit too late over here. And Tracer, well, she's just trying to get away here. Hansa has his arrow back up. The Ancestral in time to save the day. And here's the arrow of Hanzo. The Stormbolt! And they go for Malfurion, but Urel ruins the play. Urel ruining the play, allowing the red team to maybe even turn it, but the combo of Li Ming misses Hanzo, and he's able to get back out of this one. But yeah, this is going to come down to the wire. They're fighting tooth and nail on this one. Can't really follow Hanzo into that particular choke point though, because yeah, he's going to turn it around and just going to poke you to death, which is exactly what he tried to do here. So yeah, there it is. Now, there's of course a couple of camps that can still be taken down at the bottom of the map, and that's what they're currently trying to do. So they're already moving in here very quickly. We got Urel also jumping back out, trying to make a bit of a move at the bot lane as the catapult has already started to take down the wall. Want to prevent that from happening. Same time now, camps again claimed all around the Immortal. Problem that still exists for the blue team is that their camp doesn't quite line up properly, so they have to be careful with this. And it's a double camp at the top, so it's not only that they have the bruiser camp, they have taken the bruisers, they have catapults over there, and also the Khaldor camp. So they are going straight in for the Immortal. They're trying to take that out. Ults are all up. Exception is Urel, and in addition to that, Rhaegar, but he's going to have his Ancestral back in just a second. So they're going for a race on the halftime show, and since they started early, it is indeed won by Team Finland. But this battle isn't over just yet. They pushed out the top lane. There's one camp at the bottom of the map that is still giving the blue team a bit of an advantage. And if they can take this one quickly, that would really help them. If they can now prolong the fight with 2 camps at the bottom of the map and catapults also pushing in, that would be fantastic. This could result in the bottom keep taking damage, for sure. Somebody might have to split off. And once that Finland has to split off one of their heroes, they are going to suffer the consequences on the Immortal. I can tell you that much already. No full soul stacks for Diablo either. That's another problem that they're facing. They're under real pressure here. They're already falling back, as you can see. And they're moving 2 heroes down to the bottom of the map to deal with this. And this will trigger an attack on the Immortal. Immediately they're there. Immediately. They want Diablo. 1 stun, 2 stun. The Apocalypse is coming out this time. Stun into the wall. And Zagara gets melted away. Such an important kill for Finland. Such an important kill for the Finnish team. At the bottom of the map, there's still a remainder of the camp that is pushing, and this is going to cost them the wall, but they don't care because they are going to take down the Immortal now. They're going to claim this one, and Urella's already on her way, so the battle continues. Urella's cleaning out the bot lane, but they get Tracer and they get Diablo! What? No! No! Li Ming wants to at least get the objective for the team, but she might now die. They're gonna try to come in for the hit, and yes, she will fall. And the longer they wait, the bigger the stagger. Oh boy, that hurts. The wall down here gone. They had such a good position, but now they're moving topside. They want to eliminate this keep, and I don't think anybody can stop them. Can they go core here? Do they even try? I don't think so. Zagara isn't here. Zagara is still at the top. Diablo with a great play, by the way. Good leap, though, but he went too deep. He got too greedy. He should have let it slide at this point. Hanzo baited him deeper, and then Sonya used the choke point for the big hit. Zagara is dealing at the bottom of the map with the Immortal. They have level 20. She's going to take this bad boy out, and what a game. What a game number 2 between these two. Finland fighting tooth and nail here. They're still in this. They're still in this. Half a level to 20, but they've now lost the first keep of this game. Hanzo hasn't died. Neither has Urel nor Rega. All of them are still fine. Top pressure. Bottom lane pressure. Ooh. It is such a close game. A big shout out to the Finnish team. They're doing such a fantastic job here. Zagara with 10 stacks still on her level 7. Hasn't completed it yet. Diablo, of course, dying in that last instance, also has a huge problem right now. Ooh, the arrow! The leap! The stun! No! What a combo! The arrow beautifully played here. Oh, that was big. Absolutely big. And as they are pushing, another quick look at that kill. The keep gets destroyed. They're going for it. Yeah, the arrow was perfectly timed. The leap afterwards as well. Party continues here. Diablo with the Apocalypse. The more hits 2. The more is hitting 2. And there's the Stormbolt any second now. They go again for Malfurion. He's dead. And this looks like it is going to be the end. Very likely the end of game number 2 with Diablo now also dying. Fantastic job by the blue team. Team Poland on the verge of a victory against Finland here in Group B of the Nations Cup. Tracer trying to escape, trying to play with the vision a little bit. Still gets a kill on Murden, but it's not going to change the outcome of this one. Tracer falls. It's a full 5-man team wipe. And with Li Ming back, she's too late to change the outcome of this. A 2-0 victory for Poland against Finland here in Group B of the European Nations Cup qualifier.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.